when it was time to get it lit, we got it hot like fever. Sick with the talk, the pass to your receiver. All about running the spot. And you know we got breath control, so no need to take a breather. Cardio kingpin, subjugate the dub play. And you know we can't wait to bring spins. A-star quizzes, A+ the final. Vocals we align, we'll move it all simultaneously over joints you rock. We earn 30 years, so you can say we got 3 turns. Live off the board, unlike you and your chess men. We install doubt in you and your yes men. And if the game had veins, we'll insert upheaval the ground. Cause the adrenaline we blend with the sound is our thing, relieving the kings of all crowns. So are you ready? Are you set? Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady, to the letter, right? Turn it up, y'all, keep the flow. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space out your mind. But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind? Ready, set, stay back. Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Turn it up, y'all, keep the flow. Are you ready? Set, jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady, to the letter, right? Turn it up, we giving the show. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space out your mind. But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind? Ready, set, stay back. But can you rock it like rocket fuel?
Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me what you wanna give. How much blood would you bleed? I'ma tell you I'm a misconceiver. I'm a believer. Someone better kick my fever. Tell me it's 100 degrees underneath my whole flesh. Everyone tells me it's a bit of a mess. I'ma tell the risk I was never at the end. I would never get it off my chest. Oh, I'm forgetful. Someone better tell me I was always on the edge. Overstay your bearings, I would never underestimate. Oh, barely, my bets are off. Everything was better off.
Gordon's got the ground game. It's the coach, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll get a look at Melvin Gordon, fresh off a big game a week ago, as it'll be the LA Chargers taking on the Houston Texans. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between our visitors and the Houston Texans. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. And this is a game where the defenses, they need to be on their toes because you've got quarterbacks here, yes, that can throw the football, but they can also run it very well, too.
Mobile quarterbacks. Remember, for the longest time, they used to tell the quarterbacks, stay in the pocket. We don't want you outside of it at all. Nowadays, that mobility, truly an asset, and people are game planning for it. As a scout told me recently, we are actually working with what the colleges are giving us nowadays.
3 quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here's the Charger offense making their way out. They'll be led out by the number 1 overall pick in the 2019 draft from Oklahoma. It's Kyler Murray.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some. They threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. doesn't put them in bad situations.
They'll swing this complete out to Hill. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Now a first carry for Melvin Gordon. There goes Melvin Gordon. The 40. He's at the 30. 10. Touchdown, L.A. Melvin Gordon, 78 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. Leading them out is their quarterback, the former 12th overall pick. Some refer to him as the natural, Deshaun Watson.
And I'll bet he's talking to his guys about resisting the temptation to try and turn this into an up-and-down game. Almost like basketball, where both teams press and one team gets an advantage. Our team's trying to run with them, and they're just not equipped for it. Doesn't matter whether you're equipped or not. Just settle in, get calm before you go for the big strikes.
Naeem Hines, his first carry. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
Joker. Check 9. 24. Check 50. 9. Line up.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
An extra defensive back on the field for the Chargers now on third down.
Hey, Mike's 42.
A shotgun snap for Watson. Man open, that's Kiki QT complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost a game. But this seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that first down on third down, I thought that was key.
Well, you're already in the hole after the touchdown on the other side. How will you respond? We talk about that a lot, and they responded pretty well there. You go 3 and out, I think you give up a lot of momentum. You get down 2 scores, could be an entirely different game.
So they've got a nice drive going now. They're in good shape. What's interesting to me is they're also in that spot of the field where you would take a shot. Do you change that up just because you're down a touchdown?
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 18 carries, 67 yards.
Well, this is where it becomes a challenge for the offensive coordinator. He's got a bell cow at tailback right now, number 3 in the league in rushing, within shouting distance of the lead. But at the same time, if the passing game is open, he's got to take advantage of that too.
And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we get back.
Go. 24. Time. Check 31. Watch twins.
Now they try the right side here. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Lucky. Switch. Check. Fresno.
They'll run for the first time here with Brown. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on 1st down.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard.
Hatchet. He's coming. We got double up.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Sponge. No. Check three. Pick the edge.
On 3rd down, Hines. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. They end up getting stuffed twice after that 9-yard gain back on 1st down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
So, yes, it's only 3, but at least they're able to answer back after giving up the touchdown to start the game.
Yeah, I like the observation there because getting some points on the board, very positive for them. Feel a little bit better about things because if you don't score, you potentially have opened the door for them to score again, and then you're down 14.
The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here now a look at Melvin Gordon. And you see his numbers from a week ago. He was up over 100 yards then, and he's already hit pay dirt here once in this one.
We always talk about quarterbacks and receivers getting into rhythm, right? Really feeling good, finding each other downfield. I think running backs operate the same way. They can hit a good rhythm and a good stride, and he's carrying it over from last week.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. On the counter, here's Gordon. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They'll try and run it. Here's Gordon. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And in the next breath, they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
It's important to do, especially early in the game like they have. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They run the counter. Gordon. Grant Haley in on the stop.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now Murray off play action. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on. How about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
Throwing is Murray on 3rd down. And the pressure gets to him again.
They can't stop him. They cannot hold up.
Seems to me that our friend, Old Momentum, I think he's definitely changed teams in this game.
It's only going to grow after that sack, and now, heck, they can get the ball back here and possibly even get the lead. It's just taken around the 12. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
On 2nd and 9, Watson, and this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Joey Bosa, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
Now, a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Now the Chargers offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Well, with the kind of half he's had, I think we can forgive him that run, right? Not every run's going to be a big play, is it?
No, and also the blocking just wasn't there. No room to run.
Yeah, defensively, they got to find a way to build on that because he's eating them alive in the 1st half.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Here's Murray. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That's 3 sacks now. That's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. He's got the hook up to Miller. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the 1st. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. 2 minutes to play in this 1st half. 7-3, our score. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Check your hot read. Kill. Watch twist.
They begin the drive with Hines. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A pickup of 11 and a Texans 1st down.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Switch. He's checking. Crash.
They run with Hines, and he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Joey Bosa with the tackle for loss. How about that pedigree in his family?
Yeah, some good pedigree. Tell us about it, Mr. Davis.
Dad played in the NFL, first-round draft pick. Uncle was a first-round draft pick. He's got a brother coming behind him. But Joey Bosa, guy plays really, really hard and plays all aspects on defense.
Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Watson. He's going to have the hook up to QT. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays. On 1st down, it's Watson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. So he can't hang on. And as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know. But you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Turn up. Kill. Turn up. Check out, bro.
On 2nd down now, it's Hines. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. An extra cornerback now in the game for the Chargers here on 3rd.
42 the mic, boy. 42 the mic. Man, I got you.
From the gun, here's Watson. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Kiki QT. As the first half is winding down. As they are an extra point away now from tying this football game.
I don't think it's any state secret to know what they were saying before the start of this drive. Let's go and punch one in the end zone and go into the halftime feeling a heck of a lot better about ourselves. Let's go get this done.
Yeah, tie things up, and then you got a brand new ball game. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. Time here for likely one play, and then these 2 teams will head to the locker room all even.
And you know the play caller's just feeling it right now. Let's go ahead and go for this one. A big shot downfield. No. Guarantee the head coach is like, don't get crazy. Take the knee. Let's get out of here. Tie game. We'll just start all over.
Not wanting to take a chance this time. They'll keep it on the ground. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. A final shot before half from Murray. And that will be incomplete. So thanks to the late touchdown, it's a time ball game here heading to break. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Cook. So I'm waltzing down Main Street, got an umbrella, just a torrential downpour, and I look over, and this guy, stone-faced, wearing a poncho that says, "Don't rain on my parade," and he is just angry. And we got to go. I'll tell you the rest later. Here we go, third quarter. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. Here's a handoff to Hines to begin the drive. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game.
Shift. Hey, switch gears. Go ahead, baby, go.
And he'll give it here to his running back. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
Switch it. Come on, switch it. Check 99. Kill.
And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
On 3rd down, Hines. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
I know they want to go for it here, and I know that their fans want them to go for it, but listen, I'm going to play head coach right here and look at the facts. Tie game, plus, even if you get the first, you still got a half a field to go. I go ahead and punt the football myself.
Let's go!
The Charger drive about to get going. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that?
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Another try after the first down sack. Murray. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Murray now, and he'll find Hall. And he's going to be taken down about a yard shy of the first at the 29. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. That'll be a 43-yard punt, but a net of just 33 following a 10-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. The loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. From the gun, Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way, and what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
And he's going to go down again. Joey Bosa in there to get him sack number 14 for him on the year.
That's his 2nd sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
So out come the Chargers. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground. This is Gordon on 1st down. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Justin Reed, the safety, made the tackle. They keep it on the ground. Again, Gordon. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Back now in Houston. Knotted up here at 10. That's our score as we begin quarter number 4. On 3rd down, Murray throwing the out route incomplete. It's Hall. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. 12 yards on the return that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. As of this moment, as pretty much everyone knows, they sit alone in that top spot. But nothing is guaranteed. They haven't even clinched the playoffs. So a good start, but a long way to go.
And you know a blunt veteran inside their locker room has stood up at one point or another and said, you know all this means nothing so far. We've got to cover this, get it done. What do we want to be? It's like winning a title in August, right, in preseason. Doesn't count. Let's go ahead and get this thing done.
And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
On 2nd and 12, Watson. Open man is QT, complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan 1st down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Hines. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Now a handoff looking right. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides.
Check. Back. Hey, check 24. Slam.
Now it's Hines. And he's got a 1st down as he's up to the 48. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. 2 1st downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10.
Undercut. You got tight right there. Check 4. Kill. Hey, turn it up.
This is Hines. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Now on 2nd and 13, Watson throwing middle, and it's complete. And he'll be down at the 46. So they go from 146 to the other on a pickup of 8. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Now Watson. Got an open man. It's QT. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. We come up here on 1st and 10.
Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping. Switch. Switch. Safe. Deuce.
They'll try the left side. It's Hines. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Get ready. Check 24. Joker. Check 9.
They run again with Hines. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. Chargers going to use their 3rd and final timeout, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
Check. Crunch. Check 3. Big Ed.
Running right, here's Brown. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Whip. Watch the whip.
They'll try the left side. Hines. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. A game-winning field goal would be a chip shot from here. Let's see how they play it on 1st and goal.
Watch it. He's coming. Double up. He's coming. Double up. Tight dog. Check 31.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hines. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter.
Watch twist. Slam. Check. Lucky.
They'll try the left side. Hines. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? 1 Watson now to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And not much on the return there. He'll take it only up to the 9-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. Tie game, and barring something incredible here, we're likely headed to overtime.
And just a couple of scenarios here to keep in mind. One, if you want to be really aggressive, you do throw the Hail Mary and see if you can get something downfield.
What would you do?
What I would do is either hand it off inside or more likely I take a knee and let the clock run out. Because if I'm back there trying to throw and a sack happens...
It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. This is Gordon as they go to him again. He'll have a first down past the 40. He's at the 40, 20, 10, and he is in for the score. And it is absolute stunned silence here. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters what you wanted, but how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for our visitors, they move back over 500 at 7-6. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Oakland to take on the Raiders. Meanwhile, for the Texans, it's a loss that could have implications on the playoff race as they fall to 9-4. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
Okay, 30